All of us want to have meaning and purpose in what we do. And many of us find that or fail to find that in our work. Last week, I walked you through how an executive team might begin to address that question, to find an answer to the question, what is our core purpose? Why do we exist? In today's video, I'm going to finish that discussion up, share with you a few more questions to ask, some that were very important to me and helped me get over the hump of really clarifying what is my purpose, what value do I bring in ways that really excite me. I hope by learning this, you'll be able to get that same kind of excitement and inspiration in your own organization. Let's get started. So I've been struggling with this, and actually I was thinking about this last week and heard of a particular book that was out. I actually don't even know the title of it right now, but it pointed to the fact that oftentimes where we are most inspired, where people find their passion for living, is connected to the greatest pain that they've had in life. And that suggested to me some other questions which I think could be really valuable for a particular group if these first ones don't really light the spark. So how does what you do connect with injustices you've known, challenges you've overcome, or your greatest pain? I really connected with these questions because this is how I have answered the question for myself. So one sharp-eyed viewer of my videos noticed that I have my core values actually behind me on the door. That's to remind me as I go out what drives my company and how I'm supposed to be in every interaction. And yet, that person probably didn't notice that I didn't have some statement up around my purpose, because that's been harder for me to wrap my head around, even for me. At my old company, Learning Unlimited Corporation, a great company here in town, spent a good bit of time, and I and the owners of the company came up with this, with a little bit more explanation behind it. We exist to help people learn. And originally, I kind of had that as my own. I was thinking, yeah, that kind of resonates, but the more I thought about it, it didn't really fire me up. So I was trying to come away and articulate and discover what was really driving me. I think one of the things that got in the way that made it harder was that I too was succumbing to the idea that I was thinking about how it would sound to other people, to customers, when really this question, why you exist, is not for anybody else on the outside. So as I began to think more and more, what drives me personally? Why do I do this work? And then particularly as I connected it with the questions that I just referred to on the slide, how is this related to my greatest pain? I had some real insight. Without going into all of the details, the toughest time of my life was late elementary school and early middle school. Those years when I was just kind of growing up and hormones were surging. I also moved to a new school, a new co-ed school, and I hadn't learned how to be cool. What I had learned from my parents and from my brother and from other folks was that I wanted to be kind to people and be genuine. And that wasn't cool. Of course, when you're 10, 11, 12, 13, what's most important is how cool you are and your ability to come back with a sarcastic comment and to be witty. And it's a real pecking order. And you get status in the pecking order based upon how good looking you are, how funny you are, and so forth. And it's truly weak sauce. It's also interesting to think that a lot of organizations, a lot of relationships still are based on such weak foundations as how one looks, the kind of money one has, and disregards the real essence, character, gifts, sincerity we bring to the relationships. And that's sad. As I thought more about this particular question, what is my purpose? Why do I exist? Why do I do what I do? I could tie it directly back to those years. Because what for me is a huge driver is how do I help create and foster authentic human relationships that's based on who the people are and our best intent. So we exist to help people learn. That's a great purpose statement for Learning Unlimited, but it's not Rob Benson's purpose statement. Mine is to foster authentic human connection. But that's not quite everything. I know that's the core of it, but I'm doing what I suggest to you that you need to do. This is an iterative process. I know that I foster authentic human connection, but there's part of me that wants to explain that a little bit more fully, because it's that authentic connection which enables us to have greater achievement, where we all win, greater satisfaction work, greater productivity. And you know what? I'm not quite there yet. I've got a start, but it's enough. And this is actually how it happens. At some point, I got to this point and my own internal light bulbs went off. And that's when you know you got something real, is when in fact you say it and it excites you for the work that you're doing. I trust that you found value in the discussion today, in the talk about this important question. Too often this one can get shortchanged. We think it's too fluffy, it's not real, and yet people want to be inspired. They want to know that the work that they do carries a larger meaning. So spend some time. See what you can do to come up with this for your organization. This is a process that should be facilitated. And if you're watching and you're not the leader of some organization, you're like me, you're a one person, or you're retired, you're on your own, whatever. We need to discover our purpose too. You are here to do something wonderful on this planet. I hope that you're doing it now, if you have a lot of satisfaction in your work, you are doing it. So being able to articulate it can help you in the inevitable days when work just seems like work, and you need to inspire yourself. But if you haven't found it, this is a question worth exploring. I welcome your questions to me. If you'd like to dialogue about this, how you make this happen, this is important. Clarify what you're here to do in ways that make sense to you, that make your eyes light up. If you're the head of an organization, spend the time to answer this question. It's an important one. Until next time, be well.